2 hours and not offend anybody. And who would that be laughing across the room?
They can't hear me laughing. I hide it well.
Lonnie, what are you doing here?
Let's just say...
Yeah, let's be nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a
Let's be nice about the other guy, right?
What's a PC way to say this?
There's not. We got 2 hours. Glad to have Lonnie here. Let's just say Cole needed the day. Right? Right?
Yeah.
He needed the day. There's a good guy. He needed the day, you know. But Lonnie and I are flying this ship today, and glad to have you here, Lonnie. We're going to go. We're going to go 2 hours, make a big attempt not to. Now, I wanted to wear the jean jacket, and I found the most non-offensive sweatshirt I could. It didn't have a college football team on it, a high school on it. It didn't have John Deere tractor on it. It was just, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be neutral. I wanted to get as neutral as can be. I did not want this to be an offense on humanity.
You get a blue jean jacket? Yeah. Welcome to the new millennium, genius.
What? What did you do? Why are you
still living in the 80s, are we?
Yes, still living in the 80s, exactly. Now, wait a minute, I'm going to go somewhere with that. Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. Did you start to record? Because I can see I'm going to have to tell you this all. Did you? Did you hit the record button?
If I didn't.
Okay. If you didn't hit the record button, you better hit the record button and do it without me hearing the click. Try to see if you can pull that off.
But then I would have lost that beautiful montage of your 80-ness.
My 80s. Folks, let me share something with you. It is Christmas week, and let me share something with you. And I see if I can make sure I can do this and read this poem. I'm going to tell you who this poem is from. I always look forward to it every year. It's something I look forward to every year. It's an annual poem that somebody writes, and it's quite interesting. The tone of this year's Christmas poem. So hang on, and I will tell you who this is right after. Let's see if I can get this. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and Santa is hiring. America is great, the election inspiring. The North Pole is booming. Wake up call for the elf. To work, you'll be a-going, no more sitting on the shelf. The economy is stirring, not even a mouse will be broke, all because America showed up to vote. So hang your stockings and light your trees. America has chartered a move has chartered a move to the right. Christ is our king and Trump is our man. May God bless our country and bring peace to our land. Now that is the annual Christmas poem, and that is, I hope I don't get in trouble, but she writes one every year, and she knows I'm going to read it. But that is Lisa's annual Christmas poem. So Lisa wrote her Christmas poem last night, and we can get you a copy of that. I think it's good that the elf has to go to work, Lonnie. No more sitting on the shelf. It's over. No more sitting on the shelf.
And another thing happened that day, I would say. The Grinch's ego grew 3 sizes in each and every way.
Not the Grinch's ego. Oh, you know, oh man, folks. Elf has to go to work, but here is a couple things. We're going to break down a couple things today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be at the Vault tomorrow in Blue Ridge. Have some great guests I'm going to be talking about in a minute. But the percentage, this is from the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal. Now, here's the thing, folks. All right, the media. Let me get this out of the way. The media is focusing today on Trump's response, okay? You will hear that all day long. They're trying to dissect the true meaning of Trump's response to the terrorist act in the Christmas village of Germany. I think there's one in Switzerland. But they're trying, you remember, here's what the media is doing. They're like, we're going to get even with you, the right wing. Okay, we're going to get even with Republicans. We're going to get even with conservatives. Because as you well know, through the past several years, we cannot get the President of the United States to say radical Islamic terrorism. Okay, he just will not. Radical Islamic terrorist, he will not. We can't get him to say terrorism. They can make a determination on Ferguson that the guy had his hands up and he was walking away and he got shot in the back, all within about 30 minutes. But when something like this takes place, we always wait for the facts to come in and we don't jump to conclusions and call it a terrorist act or radical Islamic terrorism. So for 8 years, the right wing radio talk shows, conservatives have always dissected Obama's responses to everything. Okay? So turnabout to them is fair play. So they're trying to, the big thing to them today is what's important to them. Okay? What's important to them is to figure out, well, a press release the other day said attack on Christians. And will this change Trump's direction? Will he rethink his immigration plan now? And then Trump said yesterday it was an attack on humanity. And they said, well, you said first it was attack on Christians. He said, where'd you hear that? In a press release. Okay, move on. Your press release, attack. But no. They're trying to make it like he didn't know. And he's trying to clean it up. So that's what they're doing. That's what's important to them. The other thing I want to tell you is every time, let's be clear on something. Every time you hear somebody say that the Democrats did not learn anything from the election, or what did they learn from the election, or what will they take from the election and change? The answer is nothing. They did not learn anything from the election. There's no intention to learn from the election. Okay? That's the reality. They will put a couple things back in place, but you're asking them to learn from this election, which, see, people out there, you see, you have a group of millennials living at home that probably don't want to. Okay, maybe they don't want to. But then you have the parents that wish, could you move out? The Wall Street Journal, percentage of young Americans living with their parents rise to 75-year high. Almost, this is yesterday, December 21st. Again, the Wall Street Journal, almost 40% of young Americans were living with their parents, siblings, or other relatives in 2015. As high as 40%. Staying with a friend. Yo, can I crash at your house? It'll only be a year or two or 3 or 4. The largest percentage since 1940, according to the analyst of census data by Real Estate Tracker. Okay, despite a rebound economy, because they're still going to lead you to believe that we got this great rebound economy. Despite a rebound economy and recent job growth, the share of those between the age 18 and 34 doubling up with parents or other family members has been rising since 2005. Interesting, huh? Back then, before the start of the last recession, roughly 1 out of 3 were living with their family. So, folks, it's data like that is not as important of figuring out what Trump really said of attack on Christians or attack on humanity. we have the video. Let me say this. There's going to be the people out there. All right, we are hearing, you know, that Twitter, and I have the Twitter deck. I got a deck here. I've got about 3 Twitter accounts going. So let me search before we go too far this morning, and let's see if we can see if Donald Trump has done anything recently. 9 hours ago, Donald Trump tweeted out, "I met some really great Air Force generals and Navy admirals today talking about airplane capability and pricing. Very impressive people. I would have done," that is 9 hours ago. So we're going to play that now. Here's what Trump probably said to Lockheed Martin. "I'll tell you what, we'll buy 5 planes. So every 5 you give us the 6th one." Okay? You're going to hear that a handful of billion or 100 million here and there is not but a blip on the multi-trillion-dollar budget. Okay? So you're going to hear a negative spin on why Trump is meeting with these people, but there's a business saying, and I can't break this down this morning, but let me say this. America is broke. And Donald Trump is treating this like the businessman he is. There's a saying that big money will take care of itself, but pennies will cause you to go broke. Big money will take care of itself, but pennies will cause you to go broke. I'm telling you, the things Donald Trump is doing are long overdue, and regardless of what the media tries to spin to say, well, you know, what's the big deal of, you know, $800 million in a $3 trillion budget and a $2 trillion and $1.8 trillion, whatever. What is $600 million? Okay, what is $80 million? Folks, Donald Trump is using Twitter, which they are angry. Donald Trump used Twitter and immediately had a great meeting with Carrier. Donald Trump called out Boeing on Twitter. Canceled. Remember the tweet? Just cancel the order. Just cancel the order. Right? Do you have the video? And let me get that also, Lonnie. I want to get that myself too. Okay. Let me get that ready myself. Do you have the video of the Boeing CEO? Can you turn the speakers on and let me hear it at the same time? They're hearing it, or is that possible?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it in my headphones. Just can you turn it?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or is that a problem? Just talk to me. Tell me when I can hear it and they can hear it too. Okay, this is the Boeing CEO, and we'll talk about this. Go ahead and play that for him, Lonnie, and turn the speakers on for me to hear it too, please.
Went great. Very productive, and really encouraged by the dialogue. Good, open discussion, and we're all focused on the same thing here. We want to make sure that we give our warfighters the best capability in the world, and that we do it in a way that's affordable for our taxpayers. And his business headset around that is excellent. It was a terrific conversation. Got a lot of respect for him. He's a good man, and he's doing the right thing.
Did you discuss the Air Force One?
We discussed a range of topics. We did talk about Air Force One, and again, the same focus here on making sure we get best capability to make sure the president's secure and that we protect national security, and that we do it affordably.
What's this $4 billion estimate for the total project cost? claims accurate, or would you try to provide it?
We're gonna get it done for less than that, and we're committed to working together to make sure that happens. And I was able to give the President-elect my personal commitment on behalf of the Boeing company. You know, this is a business that's important to us. We work on Air Force One because it's important to our country. And we're going to make sure that he gets the best capability and that it's done affordably.
What's the delivery timetable for the plane?
Well, that's what we're going to work on together. So we have an active 747 production line, and we're eager to get started on the program. We haven't actually started the build of the airplane yet. So once we finalize the requirements, make sure that it's affordable, we'll launch on building the airplane. We've got a hot production line, and we're ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
A tweet, and the CEO of Boeing heads down to meet with Trump and comes out and tells the media, we're going to get the price down. We're going to get the price down. What is so impressive about that to me is if you've watched this show for quite some time, you will always hear me, regardless if it's a local county, whether it's Fannin County, Gilmer County, Pickens, Dawson, you name it, it's always, for me, when I make a decision on a story, it's your money. And anytime your money comes into play and is spent in any way whatsoever, we're going to look at it here because it's your money. And we want people to take the oath and hold these offices, whether they're county, state, or national, like the President of the United States. To be clear, it's your money and to be a good steward of your money. And folks, what is happening is Donald Trump is taking care of your money. Now, there'll be more time spent in the media today to figure out if there's any kind of conflict of interest with Ivanka Trump, Donald and Eric, any kind of the charities or fundraisers. But none of the media will catch on, or will they get it. They just will not get it when it comes to this guy tweeting out and saving you money. Now, Pentagon. That's a touchy subject because we support our military. And we have all kinds of programs. Okay, we want our veterans taken care of. It upsets us. Okay? When we found out, Americans found out that the bonuses had to be repaid, okay, we got very upset there in California. But we did something about it, and they fixed it immediately out there in California, or acknowledged it. That being said, we want our men and women to have the best fighting equipment. We want to be the strongest military. We want to deter our enemies through strength, peace through strength. But there's no reason we overpay our tax money to do that. That's not part of the requirement. So Trump is really digging down. We are going to be have the strongest military at the best price. Look at what happened with the CEO of Boeing. That's pretty powerful, folks. Boeing CEO says he'll build Air Force One for less than $4 billion after Trump meeting. Boeing will build the new Air Force One for less than $4 billion, the CEO told reporters Wednesday after a meeting with President-elect Trump. Dennis Muilenburg, the Boeing CEO, praised Trump for his business head and said the two had a very productive meeting where they discussed how the country could build 2 new Air Force One planes for less than $4 billion, which Trump criticized on Twitter. Cancel the order, okay? We are going to get it done for less than that, Muilenburg said. I was able to give the president-elect my personal commitment on behalf of the Boeing company. This is a business that's important to us. We work on Air Force One because it's important to our country. Patriotism, folks, our country, and we're going to make sure that he gets the best capability and that is done affordably. Folks, Trump is calling these people in. I wanted you to take a minute and Google Obama, President Barack Obama meeting with Boeing, meeting with CEO of Lockheed Martin. All right, I want to see that. Let's go to that next video, Lonnie. Let's go to that next video of yesterday. It's a couple minutes long, but stay with us on this. Go with that one, Lonnie.
This is the scene a moment ago outside Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. The woman in the dark outfit is the CEO of Lockheed Martin, Marillyn Hewson, coming out about 30 minutes or so after the CEO of Boeing. Now, Donald Trump meeting with admirals and generals as well. Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump.
We're doing a good job.
Mr. President, can you tell us what you discussed in this meeting?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Mr. President, can you tell us what you discussed in this meeting?
Trying to get costs down, primarily the F-35. We're trying to get the costs down.
Security
It's a program that is very, very expensive.
These certain security concessions from the Lockheed CEO who's here a few minutes ago.
Say it?
These security concessions from Lockheed Martin.
Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. Just beginning. It's a dance, you know. It's a little bit of a dance. But we're going to get the costs down, and we're going to get it done beautifully. And these are great people. These are amazing people.
And your conversation with Boeing.
And I'm very impressed with them. And good negotiators, too. Good, Chris.
And your conversation with Boeing seemed to produce some positive results.
I think so. We had the chairman of Boeing, CEO, and I think we're looking to cut a tremendous amount of money off the price. Okay? Thank you, everybody. You comfortable? Everyone okay? Not bad, right? Thank you. General, thank you. Thank you very much.
Folks, Lockheed Martin shares dropped after Trump says F-35 program too expensive. President-elect Donald Trump took a swipe at Lockheed Martin. This was on December 12th. Okay, Monday, December 12th. Let me tell you something. Obama, you won't remember Obama 100 days after he's gone. And that's why every day he will come out and say something, because it'll upset him so bad. Monday, December 12th, Lockheed Martin shares drop after Trump says F-35 program too expensive. President-elect took a swipe at Lockheed Martin F-35 program Monday morning, saying the cost, this is just a week ago, man, just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, the cost was out of control. Here's the tweet. This guy is tweeting. I mean, when he tweets, you save. That's the bottom line. This man tweets, you save. Okay? Watch for falling prices as Donald Trump tweets something out. The F-35 program and cost is out of control. This is on Twitter, December 12th. Okay? It's out of control. Billions of dollars can and will be saved on military and other purchases after January 20th. Okay? Stocks nosedived that day. Now, I, for one, am not, playing the stock market, and I'm not waiting for it to hit 20,000. And I'm happy for all of those that are in the stock market and you're waiting for it to hit 20,000. And I'm sorry that you may have lost some money in Lockheed Martin on December 12th. But I'll tell you what I'm not sorry for is that, hey, hate it for you, but if you own Lockheed Martin stock on, December 12th, and you were a part of the company that Donald Trump says is out of control spending of my money, taxpayers' money, okay? Sorry. What happened? Out of control spending, right? So Donald Trump calls him in. CEO of Lockheed Martin to the door very quickly, okay? They made a quick move to that door. All right, CEO of Boeing, Lockheed Martin. Look at the admirals. Admirals coming out of there. So what he did with Lockheed Martin is said, look, admirals, you need this, right? Yes, you need this. You want to build this, right? Yes. They need it. You want to build it. Now, let's get to how they receive what you build at a price the American people can afford that's fair. Now let's go from there. Let's set it. You need it. You can build it. We want you to have it. We want you to build it. Now let's move from there. This guy's amazing when he gets in the room. I'm not even there, and I can just feel what this guy's doing. And you know what? You're going to watch this one right after another. There's going to be criticism from the media. The media will criticize over and over and over if Trump is interfering. How can looking out for your and my tax money, how can looking out for us in any way, shape, form, like what he is doing thus far, be wrong? I can't figure it. Lockheed Martin, it's Twitter. That's exactly right. 9 hours ago, I met with some really great Air Force generals and Navy admirals today talking about airplane capability and pricing. Very impressive people. Pricing. We're going to get the prices down. He said, that F-35 is a little too much. I tell you what, you make 5, throw 1 in, bada boom, deliver 6 for, invoice 5 of them. Can we work? Did you notice who was behind there? General Flynn, General Michael Flynn, NSA director, was in the meetings. Trump is headed in the right direction. He's calling the right people in, and he's letting them know that certain things are going to change. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I've got a couple questions I want to ask you. Now let me ask you, Lonnie. Now, you look like an Uber kind of guy. Well, have you ever called an Uber?
No.
You never have?
No.
Okay, would you call an Uber if you were in like the big city and you were running, or would you call an Uber? Yeah. Play along with the damn question, will you?
I think I probably would, yeah, sure.
Okay. If the Uber showed up and there was no driver, would you get in?
No.
No? You wouldn't?
Negative.
Negative. Hey, what say you? Our number is 706-889-9700. That's 706-889-9700. And also chief@fetchernews.com. Would you get in an Uber car if it showed up and only a computer said, welcome, how are you today? Right, Lonnie, the Google voice.
Well, you look at some of this, and I guess you also have to look at the news and everything going on with the self-driving cars. Is it possible one day that I would get in the car? Sure, not today. But if you look at like the Teslas and the overseas companies that have worked on the self-driving cars, they have promise. Now, they've been in a lot of wrecks. Who hasn't? But yeah, I'm not saying, you couldn't have eventually hit the technology point where, yeah, I'd get in the car. But no, not today.
I think it could have a lot of safety features. And then teenagers can text and drive. All right, go to break. We'll be right back. And what do you think? 706-889-9700 or chief@fetyournews.com. Line, take us a break, buddy.